So this is going to be a little cooking video on how to make Seco de Pollo. So here we have the recipe, which I will send out on the internet. There's our pollo, which is chicken. And then here's some of the ingredients. You're going to need red and green peppers and garlic. You'll need a jalapeno pepper, some red onions, tomatoes, cilantro, and 3 spices. You'll need oregano, achiote, which is a Mexican spice, and cumin. So there you go. Different recipes call for different other ingredients. This particular recipe calls for beer to be put into the sauce, because in this country we don't have some of the same liquids that we might have, some of the same types of liquids we might have in Ecuador. So they might or might not use beer in the recipes that you will be eating in Ecuador. We'll find out more about that when we get down there. I'm only making a half recipe of the Seco de Pollo. So here's what I've done next. I quartered and then I quartered again. I made into 1/8 inches, 1 whole onion. I quartered 4 tomatoes, or probably 1/8 4 tomatoes. I chopped up into large pieces 2 peppers, 1 red pepper and 1 green pepper. I chopped up in pretty fine pieces the half of a jalapeno pepper after I seeded it. And I chopped up 5 or 6 cloves of garlic. All of this is now going to get blended together. I'm going to use a hand blender because I actually don't have a blender. If you don't have a blender and you don't have a hand blender, I think you probably just chop this up real finely and probably saute it if you needed to take care of that. So there you go. So here I am. I've got the hand blender. It is right down there. You can see it. It's this white blender. Right here, I've added a little bit of beer to get some liquid in there. You could use something else like orange juice, I suppose, if you didn't have beer. Or you want something with a sharp flavor, though. So then I'm going to put some more things in here like this. And I'll just chop it up some more. And then I'm going to finish it up and put it into a bowl. The next step is to make what's called a sofrito. So this is chopped up red onions, so a half of a red onion, and some garlic, about 3 cloves of garlic, and I happen to have an extra tomato. Over here is the already blended mix that'll go into the chicken. And then I'm just getting ready. This is the frying pan. I'm going to fry the chicken in here. And in here is where I will start the sofrito. I will kind of saute the sofrito, and then I'll move all the chicken into the sofrito after it's been fried for maybe 10 minutes. I'm using skinless, boneless thighs that I've cut in half, and I'm sauteing them up, and I'll be turning them over. But you can probably use any kind of chicken you want, legs, with skin, without skin, thighs. Thighs and legs are probably the best. And then this is where I'll be making the sofrito. I'm going to be adding the achiote here to the sofrito. This is red spice that I've actually got now into this jar. So there's the chicken. It's frying up, and this is a sofrito that I've made with achiote and some onions and some tomato. And it's just being cooked on medium heat, maybe a little bit low to medium. And we're going to saute the meat for a couple more minutes, and then we're going to add it, and we're going to keep stewing and everything. There we go. Now hard at work. So now I've mixed everything together. This has got the pieces of chicken and the broth that I first made up, and the sofrito, and it's sitting, and it's going to cook for about an hour. It's going to stew for about an hour. And oftentimes then this meal is made with other things, including platanos and sometimes sliced avocado. So I'm going to make some fried platanos now to go along with it. Oftentimes it's served with yellow rice, but we're not going to make the yellow rice tonight. Just the fried platanos, some avocado slices to go on top of the the Seco de Pollo, and sometimes it's served with potatoes as well. We do have potatoes for tonight, but they've already been cooked. The platanos all cut up now, as you can see. They're in about 1/4 inch thick slices that cut at an angle. Next I'm going to heat up the oil and we'll saute them until they're nice and golden brown. You probably noticed the platanos are really black. You want them very black and just a slight bit soft to the touch. If they're not black enough, they're not as sweet. There you go. Now the platanos are in the frying pan and they're starting to fry. You have to be kind of careful putting them in that you don't splatter the oil and get yourself burned. But now they're just cooking away and the stew is stewing away. And then you start to turn the platanos when they start to get golden brown on one side. You turn them over. So they're still kind of just getting started now. So we'll turn them over in a little while. So I used to use a fork to kind of check these. I move them around with a fork. And I turn them when I see them to see if they're golden on the other side. Ah, see, that one's starting to turn a little bit golden. It's probably not quite ready yet. But you'll tell when they're ready. We still need a little bit of time before we turn them over and cook them on the other side. So there you go. You can see now things are ready to get a little bit golden brown, and we can just keep flipping them over till they look nice and cooked on both sides, and then we take them out and we set them on some paper towel. So there we go. The stew is still stewing. Okay, we've now finished the first set. There they are. And we're just starting on the second set. The heat is at about a little bit above medium. Somewhere around medium. We don't want them to burn too quickly. You're going to kind of watch them. So now it's been about an hour that this has been cooking down. It's been reduced by about 1/3. It's going to get a little bit thick, which is really nice. It would be great if there was maybe rice to serve this with. I would probably eat it just this way, like a stew. And we have our platanos all ready. And we'll have our avocados. So that is kind of it. That's Seco de Pollo. Hi, Maggie. We're having our West Sale Ecuadorian meal.
Isn't it beautiful? It's
yeah.
just gorgeous.
So let's see what we have here. We have the avocado slices and the platanos, the fried bananas, a little potato salad, which in Ecuador they just probably have potatoes that might have been cooked. And then there's the pollo, the Seco de Pollo right there. And last we just have a little bit of salad as well. So now we're going to try it out.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay.
Looks great.
Good. You guys can try it at home too. Bye.